Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to US Election Hub, and today we're going to be analyzing the 2018 Senate elections. There have been tons of new polls released in the last week, and we're going to be using these polls to analyze some of these important Senate races. Not only that, we're going to be looking at the 2018 Senate forecast from 538, which uses different methods to analyze races, which are far more advanced and way more accurate in determining who will control the Senate and especially the majority, because Democrats need 2 seats in order to take control. But it's going to be an uphill climb for them because a lot of these polls right now do not speak good news for the Democrats. And so let's go ahead and get into Real Clear Politics here to look at some of the newest polls that have been released. And so the first poll you'll see is that it's from Heller and it's +2. And so this is a New York Times Siena poll, and this poll literally was just released because it's been going on for the last few days. And Heller leads by 2 points in this poll. There are still 7% undecided, but it does follow the trend that is happening here, because Dean Heller not only leads in this poll. If you go back 2 days, back on Tuesday, October 9th, a poll from NBC News Marist College came out, and that showed Heller leading by 2 points. Now, both these polls, say the same thing, and they basically confirm that Heller is keeping this race, competitive. And one of the biggest problems for the Democrats here is if the Democrats cannot flip Nevada, they have basically no hope of taking back the Senate. Taking back the Senate relies on them flipping Arizona and Nevada, and if they fail to do that, then they won't be able to take back the Senate, and that's one of the biggest problems for Democrats right now. This polling is definitely not good for Democrats, and obviously we are less than 30 days away from the midterms, so obviously this is a concern. But, obviously there are some inconsistencies in some of these polls. For example, the New York Times showed Heller basically even with women, but it also underrepresented men, because Heller in previous polls was leading with men while Rosen was leading with women. And Rosen only has a 1-point lead with women according to the New York Times poll. So I think more accurately, Rosen is still leading around 60% with Latinos, and she's leading around maybe 50% with women, 50-40 or something like that, 55-45. But Heller's also probably leading a lot more with men. So these polls obviously cannot take account for undersampling of the electorate. Now, going into other polls, for example, we have Michigan poll, but this is the only poll released that shows Stabenow only winning by 9 points. Every other poll shows Stabenow winning anywhere from 15 to 23 points. So this is good news for the Republican John James, and may even help Republicans down ballot, but he is doing a little bit better. However, it's not a race that is expected to flip for the Democrats, so they can be certain that this race is still not too competitive and still in the likely column. So let's go over here and actually go to the 2018 Senate forecast. And if we go right now, there's a 4 in 5 chance Republicans keep control, with an 81.3 chance that they do keep in control, while only 18% chance for Democrats that could take the chamber. They are poised to keep around 51-49, but it's possible that Republicans pick up 1 seat, and the balance of the Senate goes to 52-48, as there's a 0.9 plus Republican seat average gain. And so this is within the realm of possibility. It's even possible for Republicans to pick up 4 seats. That would probably be their best scenario. And obviously the Democrats' best scenario is realistically picking up 3 seats. Going in the classic model, or let's just go back to light for a second. If we go to Nevada here, Dean Heller has a 51.9% chance of being elected. According to Classic, he has a 52% chance, and according to Deluxe, the Deluxe has not been updated to include the newest New York Times poll, and I assume when that is included, it would push this race to a 50.5% chance of Dean Heller winning, while Jackie Rosen will only have 49.5%. And so, Republicans continue to gain enthusiasm in the Senate, especially in the red states, because Republicans have probably one of the best maps they could have in what is a year known as Democratic enthusiasm. And so I would actually put this race in Nevada as tilt red. Now, Real Clear Politics has Rosen leading by 0.6, but that's not really anything at this point. And 538 does, does do other things to evaluate its races, and I trust 538 on this race way more. In regards to Arizona, a new poll came out showing Martha McSally leading by 6 points, but this poll isn't as reliable. It's only really rated C plus by 538, and so yeah, it's good news for McSally that she is doing a little bit better, and so polls will probably reflect that. But it's also important to understand that McSally is, or Cinema is still favored to lead this race as of right now. That's put Arizona into the tilt column. Recent polls from Texas indicate that Ted Cruz is still leading around with an average of 5 to 6 points, according to this poll from Emerson. Cruz +5, and according to CBS News, Cruz +6. And according to New York Times, which has already interviewed 778 responses and a 3.7 margin of error, Ted Cruz leads by, I believe, 9 points here, which is way more than the margin of error. And so Ted Cruz is, doing much better in polling, and so this puts this race as lean Democrat, or lean Republican, sorry. Similarly, if we look at polls here for Blackburn versus Bredesen in Tennessee, Blackburn led the last poll that fought by Fox News by 5 points. She's leading this poll by CBS with 8 points, and according to New York Times, she's leading by a whopping 15 points. Obviously, this poll is not done yet, but even if this gets closer, this is a double-digit lead that's probably going to be released from the New York Times, and that's just not good news for Bredesen. That's put Tennessee in the lean column. According to the latest polls, there is one poll that shows Manchin up by 1, but this was an internal poll by a Republican, and I really wouldn't trust it that much. Manchin is likely going to win without a problem. And so I put this race as lean. New Jersey, similarly, Bob Hugin was doing better in some polls, but some polls show Bob Menendez doing better in his race and not losing by, maybe 6 or 2 points. So this would be lean Democrat. According to Real Clear Politics, Hawley leads by 0.4, and according to a new poll that is not on Real Clear Politics, is Hawley +1 by Ipsos, B+ rated, and that expects Hawley to come out on top here. That would mean Republicans pick up Missouri as a tilt race, tilt Republican. North Dakota, nothing's crazy there, but Kramer is expected to defeat incumbent Heidi Heitkamp by 8.7 points. Kramer has been leading in all recent polls, so not good news for Heidi over there. So this would be lean Republican. Montana is a close race, but I would say it's tilt Democrat, and similarly with Indiana and Florida. And that puts our final total at 52 to 48. Here's the final map here, and as you can see, losing Nevada basically guarantees that they won't pick up the Senate, and also they're not doing well in Tennessee or Texas, 2 states they absolutely would love to have if they're going to actually end up picking up the Senate here. And so thank you guys so much for watching, and see you guys next time. Bye.